Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's time for another Talkie Tuesday. My name is Dori Patrick. I'm a mixed media artist. I live and work in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and you are joining me here at my work table in my art studio here at the Big Yellow House. How have you guys been? Yay, I'm so glad we're together again. And this week, I am going to invite you to join me for some junk journaling. Um, a little backstory on the junk journaling. You all know I'm a pretty avid art journaler. I love taking sketchbooks, old books, turning them into altered books, where I use a lot of paint, ephemera, lots of layering, lots of mixed media techniques in those books. And for me, that is a separate practice from my junk journaling. And honestly, I've only really taken to junk journaling in the past year or so. Like most of you who love ephemera, love paper goodies, and have kind friends that send you cards and notes and stickers and things, you can accumulate a lot of stuff. And I have found that when there's something I just love, whether it's an image, a sticker, or, something that invokes some kind of memory, I want to hang on to it, but I only have so much time, space, and patience to hang on to every little thing. I just cannot do it. So I have finally taken the plunge and got into what I call, this is my version of junk journaling. So let me just kind of show you how I get started, and then we will just turn it over probably to some music or something, and we'll just have a session and you can just kind of watch me work. But for me, a junk journal is anything that's kind of loose. Some things are more meaningful to me than others. It's just something, I love and that delights me, and I just want to hang on to it and keep it in a book. So first of all, let's talk about the books that I use. I make my own junk journals. This is another thing I never really got too excited about until recently, is making my own books, using, all that paper ephemera that you have laying around. This is a fun little skinny book that I made with scraps of paper, and I'm not going to measure. I'm not going to, I tear and I kind of approximate if it's going to fit in the book. Does that make sense? So you'll see like some of these are smaller than others. These are just random scrapbook papers and ephemera. The cover is a heavy mixed media paper that I started a painting on, and then I abandoned it. And I thought, well, that's too nice to just toss in the bin. So I made a cover out of it. And the pages are random scrapbook papers. This is a catalog page. Just whatever you have laying around, really. And I just do that basic 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I don't even think I do it quote unquote correctly, but I just use some wax thread and stitch it together, and it works just fine for me. Here's another one that I made. This one is about the size of a note card, because this is an old note card, one of my designs that got misprinted, and of course I couldn't bear to throw that out, so I made a little book that is the size of a note card. And this one has random handmade papers. What else? This is a part of a calendar that expired. This is an old greeting card of mine. I just cut it down to fit. So an old envelope, literally anything can go in your junk journal and can be game for fodder for your book. So that's how I make them. Again, this is that 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm not going to go into how I make them, it's super easy to find. If you don't already know what the 3-hole pamphlet stitch is, it's super easy to find that tutorial just about everywhere. And like I said, I don't do anything properly. So anyway, that's how they start, and then here's how they're going. And these are the two. I usually have 2 junk journals going at once, different sizes and shapes, mostly because I just kind of tend to work from having 2 out and kind of bouncing back and forth between the 2. So here's one. This one's really getting filled up with fun ephemera. Here's how it looked. These are pages that haven't been done yet. Again, scrapbook paper, painted papers that I love. Like that, I kind of feel like I don't want to cover up because I just love it the way it is. But we'll see. It's stuff you're not precious about. That's, for me, what makes up a junk journal. And then this is a bigger, skinny, tall, skinny. And then this one is about maybe 6 by 8-ish in size. And I'm pretty far along in this one too. So there is no method to the madness of my junk journals. I do not work chronologically. I don't do themes. That's too much for me to keep track of. I know what these specific things, I know the memories that these specific things invoke. So to me, it's not important really that I have everything in a chronological order. I just start throwing down things I love. And so literally anything is game. As you can see in this spread, hopefully I can get the glare off there. This is a beautiful photo of Frida that I think I found in a magazine or a book, and I hung on to it. And then these little splotches are from my paint palette. They caught my eye, and I just love them. And so I glued those in there, alongside some other magazine clippings, washi tape. It really is whatever catches my eye on that day. Like this, I remember from a trip we took and we visited an art museum. My husband has a calendar with little quotes that he'll give to me. So I put those in there. It's really just whatever catches my eye, whatever delights me. Here's an old drawing that I started and it got abandoned. But I still love it. So yeah, it's really kind of, it's just so much fun. It's so much fun to look back at these books and have memories triggered and just look at all this yummy. There's just a lot of yummy stuff in here that I love. This is an old drawing one of my kids did. So anyway, you get the gist. These are also that 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and you will find, depending on the papers that you use, you may want to, so I find myself as I go through the book kind of reinforcing that. Like I haven't done it on the outside of this one, but this particular book, I think this was kind of tearing because I'm really hard on my books. And so I reinforced it with a doily. But okay, so just about anything goes for a junk journal for me. And this past weekend, I spent some time kind of organizing my ephemera. And this is one of those, hopefully you can see that okay. This is one of those like store displays that stores use to display like sunglasses or even cards. I use these at my shows to display my note cards, and I had an extra one, and so I had all of this in a bin with a lid, and I had no idea what I even had in there. This is not terribly organized, but what it is it's upright so that I can page through and grab things a little more easily. So I don't have this sorted in any particular way. I don't have time for that right now. Maybe this winter on a slow, cold, boring night, maybe I'll go through and organize this a little bit more. But for right now, this is better than it was. So I'm going to go with that. So these are my smaller bits. I do have like little magazine words and some handwritten words. I have words and text in this little envelope, but that's the extent of my organization. And then I have another bin that's for larger bits. So I have small and a large, and I'm keeping it to this amount because it is already a lot. I don't need any more than this. So this is enough to keep me busy for a really long time, if I were to be honest. So anything goes in here. There are, and I hope, people are not offended if they see a card they sent me or something going into my junk journal. It is not. It is not because I don't love it. It's because I love it that I want to put it in my journal. And junk is just a term. These are things I love and I want to save. I just don't have the capacity to save every little thing in a drawer. Putting it in a book is just so much more, it's so much easier for me. And I can enjoy things more out of a book. So these are a lot of larger images from magazines and books. And, I weed these out every once in a while. Sometimes it's a little much. And I'll go through and purge. But so when I get ready for a session, I get these two bins out. I love having my washi tape handy. You guys saw, this is my washi tape bin. You just never know when you want to attach something with a colorful tape. Or I also love to, let's see if I can find an example. I love to use them in like trimming the edges of my pages too. That's something I got to teach these Girl Scouts over the weekend, some art journaling. And that was one thing they really loved, was digging into that washi tape and putting trim on the edges of their pages. Obviously, I love that glitter tape. I've put it just about everywhere. So washi tape, we've got our books, we've got our ephemera. I also keep stickers handy because they're good for filling in spaces. I always use a Yoo-hoo stick. I think that's how you say it, Yoo-hoo. I buy these by the dozen. You can get them like on Amazon and on Blick in a box of 12. That's how much I go through these. This is the best glue stick, in my opinion. I also love Elmer's. They do, I think it was called Extra Strength or Extreme Strength, but they seem to be discontinuing the Extreme Strength. So I'm not sure if that's going to be available, but Yoo-hoo will do you right. I always have scissors. I use some gunky scissors that I don't care that much about, because when you start getting into the glue and the tape and all that stuff, you can get some adhesive on your scissors. So I just use a pair that have been well loved that I don't care that much about anymore. I also really love Scotch Magic tape. It's a Scotch tape that I will use to do little tip-ins in my journal. I don't see an example here, but I will also use it if something doesn't want to stick down or it's kind of tearing a little bit and I just want to reinforce it, because it's practically, I have some right there, and it's practically invisible. That's why I love it. Scotch Magic tape. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to just get to journaling, and there's not going to be any rhyme or reason to what I do. We'll just meet up at the end and I'll kind of review what I've done. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to go. We'll just see how this goes. But I hope you enjoy, and I hope that this inspires you to get going on your own little junk journal. It's such a great way to save your little bits. So, all right, let's get going.
Okay, hello, this is voiceover Dori. I'll try to put on a sultry DJ voice. Just kidding. I don't have one. I actually have been struggling with some allergies this summer, so I hope I don't sound too terrible. But I thought we could just kind of chat as we work through this book. I've sped up the footage a little so this video doesn't go too long. If you have any specific questions, put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them for you. So I'm working on that little skinny book first, and that first thing I glued down, obviously we started with a couple things already stuck in there. That image of the winged gal, the little creature, and then that sticker. And I put in a magazine image and another sticker. And this strawberry paper, this is a little journal card I think I got in a pack from Etsy once a while back. And I thought it would be a cute little tip-in. So I'm using some of that Scotch tape and adhering it in there. And then that was too plain, of course, so some funky washi tape. And then this strawberry sticker is so cute. And it took me forever to peel the backing paper off of it. I cut a lot of that footage out for you so you didn't have to suffer along with me. Oh my goodness. Making this video has been an adventure today. We'll just leave it at that. So that was a piece of my Biking Girl washing tape I put at the top on the right, and that's a little tiny split head. A while back I did a teeny tiny little piece of art for a community project. We were to do paintings that were 3 or 4 inches big, and I did a little split head painting, and I had made a bunch of those little heads, and I just hung on to them because I knew I would want to put them in a journal. You just gotta hang on to that stuff, right? There's some more washi tape, of course. This has been such a great way to use my washi tape. Between my happy planner and my junk journaling, I might actually use my washi tape. I feel, I have so much of it and I want to use it. And this has been such a great use for it. So I'm just filling in little spots here and there. That's actually a sticker. It's a transparent sticker with a piece of art on it, but they don't stick very well. So that's why I added a little glue to that. And then, of course, you gotta love some ticket stubs. When in doubt, put some ticket stubs. And stickers. Don't we love stickers? One of the things I wanted to mention, when you're working in a junk journal, it's all about just throwing things in there that you love. And so obviously, some of the images you put in a junk journal are going to be images created by other artists and, images out of magazines and stickers and such. And it's okay to do that. Totally okay. As long as you aren't using other people's work to put in work that is to be sold, then it's okay. It's totally okay to fill your junk journal with images you love, even if they do belong to other artists. So I've moved on to the other book, as you can see, and I am gluing in this cute little note that my husband wrote to me a while back, and I saved it. It was on this scrappy little piece of cardstock. And then on the black page on the left, I'm gluing down a magazine image of, it looks like somebody's yarn stash. It looks like shelves of yarn, which of course is an image I love. And one thing I want to say, so this that black page has a couple things already on it. And one of the things is that name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Filth." And I just want to say, I found that on a walk. Like, I found it in the street. It was all dirty and scruffy. It's one of those "Hello, my name is" name tags, and somebody took paint pens and sort of did graffiti bubble letters and wrote "Filth." And I don't know. I just felt like I picked it up. I brought it home. I washed it off, let it dry, and there it is in my journal. Felt I needed to say, I do not believe that we should be calling ourselves filth. It's just a weird thing I picked up on a walk, and it kind of I just thought it was funny. So I'm sticking down some more stickers. This is a die cut. Do all the things with love, and I stuck that over by the love note. So what this love note actually is my hubby and I are big fans of the story Fantastic Mr. Fox, both the book and the movie. The movie is a wonderful Wes Anderson stop motion movie, and so he just wrote me this little note. And so that's a little fox saying something. And it was so much white on that page, and I didn't want to obscure the note. So I decided to get some of my colored pencils, and I just colored in parts of the note so that I can still see the message. I can still see all the little doodles that he made on my note. But it just kind of jazzed it up a little bit. Oh yeah, and this is a funny little thing. It's a little tiny picture of a bra, and it says "supported." And I thought that was so cute and funny, so I stuck it over there by the love note. And then that little blue piece, I have this little stack of these Pantone color sheets that are transparent, and they're not sticky, so I had to use a stapler to attach it. And now that's a little piece from a magazine, and I sort of awkwardly glued it and folded it over to the other side to make this little tab that kind of just adds a little something to the edge of the page. Yeah, had I to do it over again, I probably would have folded it first and then glued it, but you know. Oh, and that's one of my little flying people. It's a little drawing, tiny little drawing that I saved, and thought he should go there. And then of course I'm always looking through my stickers. Oh, and that's from my paint palette. I have paint palettes that are just caked with paint. They're really thick, and I decided to actually staple it because the glue stick wouldn't hold it. So much fun. And I have just a few more little spots I want to fill in with some stickers. This is towards the end of the book, so there's kind of a hump on one side because it's getting so chunky. So you kind of have to be mindful of that middle crease. You can't put too much in there. So I'm trying to just fill it in the best I can without getting my stickers crumpled up in that crease. Put some rocket ships in there. And it's looking really good.
Okay, guys, so we're just going to do a little wrap up on these pages. You kind of watched me go through them step by step, but here is what the finished product looks like. And as you can see, it's just, there's no rhyme or reason. These are all just things that bring me joy or things that I have found And what I really love about the junk journaling process is it kind of is a little bit of a documentation of a life. So I highly recommend that you try your hand at just collecting little bits and bobs. It really is not hard, especially if you're a mixed media artist. Obviously, we are kind of drawn like moth to the flame. We are drawn to paper goods and little pretty things, and this has been such a wonderful solution for me to have a place to put them. And I think I mentioned as we were working, one of the things I didn't mention in the beginning when I was gathering my supplies is I love using my mini stapler too. So this is just a little mini, I think I got this off of Amazon for a few bucks. It holds regular standard staples, but it is so fun to just attach things really quickly. Like this was really thick, and the glue stick wouldn't have held that very well, but I kind of like the look of a staple. It almost is like a little stitch, and of course you could stitch into these too. This is not something I spend a whole lot of time on. I really want to throw things down, glue things or tape things down, and then go on with my day. So that's the first book. This is that 8-ish by 6-ish inch book. And then the tall, skinny one, this is the one I was working on first. Let me get you, hopefully that's in focus. As you probably recall, this little drawing and this sticker were already on the pages. I had already started filling it in, and so I took it to the next level. And this little guy, she's not laying flat right now, but as this book stays closed and has some weight on it, this will lay flat. So don't worry too much about that. When you close your books up, everything kind of gets nice and smushed in there. Yeah, that was really fun, you guys. Super fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're going to have a great week. I hope you've got some fun things planned. I am just, like I said last week, I'm kind of getting back into the groove with my studio work. So I am going to be prepping some canvases later today to get some paintings going for my next show. But it's a beautiful day today. Our humidity has gone away and it's nice and cool and crisp. It's giving you that pumpkin spice feeling, which we all, in this house, we love fall. We love it. So very happy to have some cool days. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me again. Please leave me a comment. I love to hear how you junk journal, some of the tips and tricks. I'm always looking for tips and tricks and resources if you have any you'd like to share with the rest of us. All right. Have a great day, guys.